Well, hi. It's Freedom Friday. Oh my gosh. You guys, I am out here hoopless. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to even worry about it. I'm not even going to trip. I'm out here hoopless. Oh. Okay. So anyway, welcome to Freedom Friday. I hope you're having a good week. I am excited to talk to you today, and it's going to be kind of interesting. Hi, Anna. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Mama J. How's everybody doing? Y'all know what we do. Hi, Sister Kathy. You out there having a good time in some good weather? I love it. Hello, Dr. V. You guys, I'm going to tell a story today that some of you that know me have already heard the story. Some may not have heard it, but I think this is a good week to share the story again. So, first of all, forgive me for being a little late. It is what it is. So, I guess I should start with a question. And the question today is, have you ever? And in light of the news that is everywhere this week, I started thinking about the fact that sometimes people see you as having everything and they think you live a charmed life. And they look at you, Dr. V, and they say, oh man, she couldn't possibly have anything going on because they just can't see it. But I was saying today to my daughter today, I was saying, sometimes when we think people have everything, it may not be everything to them. It may not hold the value to them that it holds to us, because either we see it as something that's normally so valuable, or because, hey, Ruthie, or because to them, it's not at the top of their list. You know, we think if I just had this amount of money, if I just had this, that, and the other, my life would be great. Everything would be wonderful. But then, would it be? Like, do you really know that that's what's going to fix whatever you think is wrong? And so I was thinking about that today, and just thinking about how we just don't know what people are going through. We just don't know what's happening in the minds and the hearts of people. We don't recognize that a smile isn't always a smile. We don't recognize what we think is joy might be a fight against despair, might be somebody just trying their best to get through moment by moment. Hi, Jasmine. So I started thinking about that, and I decided that today was a good day to tell this story. But let me ask you, sad because, oh, you weren't able to go to the game. Anna didn't get to go to the game because of the storm. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm sure there'll be another opportunity. I hope there will be. But I want to ask the question, have you ever felt alone? This might be kind of too personal to answer. You don't really have to answer it if you don't want to. If you want to, you can. You can just drop it in the chat. Been there, done that, there now. Yeah. Thank you, Jackie. Just felt alone. And sometimes feeling alone is not because you are really alone. Like, there are people there, but sometimes you just feel alone in your emotions. Like, you can't express it. You can't share it. You don't know what to do with it. Sometimes your problems can be so big. Loneliness, man, Ruthie, it's a hard thing to deal with. And it's really hard when there are so many people around. And so today, I just want to talk a little bit. Like I said, some of you already know this story, but some years back, I went through this really terrible period in my life when I was dealing with the mental illness of my parent. And she was really going through a whole lot. I didn't understand what she was going through. I internalized a lot of it. Um, there were some things, feeling isolated. Yes, Jasmine, it's hard. There were some things that were not because I don't want to make it sound like I didn't go through some things with the mental illness. I did, but there was also an element of me not understanding what I was going through, and it got me to the place where, quite honestly, um yeah, everyone does at some point, especially during the pandemic. Anna, you're so right. It got me to the point where I figured out how to get out of here, right? And it's not hard for me to talk about now. I think it's hard for people to imagine me being in that place, but that's why it's so important to share it, because sometimes what you see is not what you see. Sometimes this ain't that, right? So I got into the place where I decided that I would, well, let me tell you what my prayer was. I told God, if you don't come to me, I'll come to you. If you don't come get me, I'll make the decision for us, because I can't do this anymore. I can't handle this pain. I can't handle this confusion, this abuse. I can't handle this mind um thing that I'm dealing with. Like, I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down, I'm left, I'm right. I can't, I don't have any peace anywhere. I'm just not making it, right? And you guys, I made a decision that weekend that I was going to uh unalive myself. I was going to take myself out. And my weapon of choice was pills. So what I did was I got my pills together and I made myself a little cocktail. And it looked kind of like a medication bottle of Skittles. I had all of these different pills that I had gotten legitimately because of illnesses. And so I took all of that medicine, because let's add to that, I was also um, dealing with a lot health wise, right? Um, so I got my pills together. Good morning, Sharika. I got my pills together and I made myself a little yum yum bowl, I thought, and I was going to take these pills. And I had just decided that enough is enough. I don't have it. And I want to tell you that while I was doing this, I was still teaching Sunday school. I was still singing and directing the choir. I was still doing praise and worship. I was still taking care of my kids, my husband. I was still doing all those things. Of course, Jasmine, I was still doing all of those things, but I was dying. I was literally sitting in the pews, dying, like going day by day. I felt like I'm just not going to make it. And once I made that decision that I was done, it was like I shut the whole world out. Like, I quit talking to people. I would do what I had to do and then I'd leave church. Some Sundays I'd laugh a little bit, but I knew in my head what I was going to do. I had already decided. And I wasn't even tripping on what people were going to think or say, because I was in so much pain, y'all. I was in so much pain. And I wouldn't dare share this story without telling you, hey, Tamara, without telling you that God got me out. I want you to know that God got me out. And he got me out through a retreat that happened that weekend. And my pastor said to me, the weekend I picked to go, it was August 1997. The weekend that I picked to go, my pastor said, who was my first lady at the time, said to me, I need you to sing praise and worship at this retreat. You need to be on the praise team. And because I had given my word to her as this event was coming up, I was determined to keep my word. And I said to God, this is the one last time that I'm going to sing. This is the one last time that I'm going to do this. And not that I'm doing you a favor, God. I'm doing it because I told her I would. And I don't want to leave her without what I said I would do. And I don't want to do this thing and mess up this retreat for her. And so I sang that weekend. And every time I sang, I went back to my room. Every service I sang and I went back to my room. I didn't want to socialize. I didn't want to go out with the soloists, that the psalmist that had come in. I didn't want to sit with the evangelist. I didn't want to be bothered. Before the no new friends, I was already no new friend. And I was like, I don't want it. And the reason I'm sharing this is there's a word that I feel like we should use more often: compassion, right? I sang in that retreat. I did everything I had to do. And then the retreat got extended to a 3-day revival. And I was like, God, are you kidding? So now I'm stuck here another 3 days. But in that revival, that was when I got the baptism of the Holy Ghost, y'all. It was that weekend. And God saved me. And I'm not ashamed to tell anybody that was the weekend that God really, really, really proved himself to me, because he wouldn't let me just give up and go out. And the thing about it is, the reason I wanted to talk about compassion today is we've seen what's been going on, and everybody has posted, and we've mourned, and we continue to mourn for this beautiful soul, his family, his children. And I just wanted to say to you today something that my therapist said to me 2 weeks ago, and it really hit home for me. She said to me, you extend grace to everybody but you. And I thought about it, and it's kind of been my practice to put people before me. And even you can see in that situation where I had decided I'm going to do this because I told my pastor I would. You know, I said I would do this. And she said, my therapist said to me the other day, yes, I have Jesus and a therapist. He made my therapist, and I'm grateful. I want to just put that out there, that you can have both. God knows what he's doing. He gave us resources. Let me not go down that road just yet, but I'm going. She said to me, you're hard on yourself. When you make mistakes, you beat yourself up. You drag yourself when things are, hey, Drea, when things are bad, you drag yourself. You're so hard on yourself, but you will let other people slide. You will apply grace to them like a salve, because you want them to have grace, and you're always trying to look at the other side. But what if he didn't mean that? Or what if he can change? Or what if, she said, but you don't allow yourself the same compassion. You don't allow yourself the same grace. So I got to thinking about that, and you know, she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. And putting that thing with what's happened this week, and just thinking about how hard life can be sometimes, and we just don't know what people are going through, I just want to encourage you to not only share compassion with the people you come in contact with, but give yourself some grace. Give yourself some compassion. So what if you had a horrible day and you griped and complained about it all day? So see, Vanita, give yourself some grace. Yes, you're used to being able to conquer XYZ and do it in such a way, and today you can't. What's wrong with that? Give yourself some grace. Allow yourself to fail, Delon. It happens. It's fine. It's been done before, right? Give yourself some grace. I know that sometimes we feel like people don't see us. I can tell you that I've had a lot of days where I feel like I'm invisible to people. And when I begin to hurt out loud, people can't take that from me, because I'm encouragement, I'm joy, and I'm all of those things. And I am, but I also have pain. I also have sorrow. I also have loss, right? And why do I have to hide that for people to be able to take all of me? And what happens when I hide it is then I get really hard on myself. And that's where I stop giving myself grace. That's where I stop giving myself, Sharika, grace and space. I stop doing that because I'm so concerned about not fitting the mold. People not being able to understand me. So I may say I'm fine and I'm not. I'm learning not to do that. And I'm working on that. But I just felt like today's a good day to say to you, give yourself some grace. You may not do everything right. You may make some mistakes that have shamed even God. That's fine. God can take that. He can love you through it. He can fix it. He can work it. He can do all of that. He can take that. Give yourself some grace. It's been done. You may have hurt some people that you never meant to hurt. Give yourself some grace. Forgive yourself for mistakes that you made. If people never forgive you, forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made. It can be done. It can be done. And so what if things are not as you want them to be today? That's okay. So what if you ventured out and it was a bad idea? It's okay. So what if people have walked away? That's okay too. It's okay. Give yourself some grace. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Now that we got that out the way, who said I had to be? Who said I had to be? It is okay for me to have a bad day. Some days, and I know this is a hard, I almost said pill to swallow, but I guess that's what it is. Some days I don't have the evangelist. Ruthie, easy to forgive others, hard to forgive ourselves. Someday I just don't have it. Some days you may not encounter the evangelist. Some days you might get Delon. Some days you might get Delon Patrice. Some days you might get the 8-year-old me. You might just get Dee Dee. And it has to be okay with me. It has to be okay with you to be you, to feel like you feel, to tell somebody, figure out who the people are that can take it when you say, I'm hurting today. And they aren't trying to change you. They aren't trying to smother that and hide it. They're willing to give you some grace. And if you don't know who those people are, call me. Call me. 720-384-5682. Call me. Call me. I don't care what time of the day it is. Call me. If I don't answer, text me. Keep calling me. I'll listen, because I'm telling you, sometimes we just need some grace to get through the next moment. Some days are day by day, but some days are moment by moment. You just don't know how valuable you really are. You don't know that there's somebody out there that really and truly does care. Even if you can't recognize and identify that, somebody out there cares. But give yourself some compassion and some grace. Mother J said, the things we go to God takes us through. Yeah, we go through things. We go through things, and it is absolutely okay. If you don't get anything out of what I said today, compassion and grace. Have compassion for people. We don't know. We see their outside and we think, man, if I had that much money, ain't no way in the world. You don't know that. You don't know that. We see people and we think they have it all together. We think their lives are perfect. They never have troubles. They never get tired. They never feel like giving up. That's just not true. And people may be smiling at you in the grocery store, and they may have already decided that you're the last person they're going to see that day, because when they go home, it's over for them. People may be sitting next to you in church, rocking and clapping, maybe even dancing, and they've already decided that they're not going to see a new year. And it won't be because God decided it. They've already decided they're not going any further. Listen, compassion. We don't know what people are going through, but be kind to people. Be kind to people. Give them love. Just say a kind word. Maybe you're not touchy-feely. That's fine. Say a kind word. Listen, I got a stack here. I went yesterday and I spoke to a first grade class. I went and read to them, actually. And what I didn't know was I mentioned sometimes we all need help. So I read this book to them called The Big Turnip. And the big turnip is about a whole family who has to help each other because they've grown this turnip so big in the ground, they can't get it out, one person. And each person has to pull the next person out, right? And they're all pulling and they're helping each other. And I said, sometimes I need help too. And this little girl asked me, what do you need help with? Like, what are you not good at? And I told her, I said, sometimes, I'm not good at what I do. I write, but sometimes my writing isn't good. I said, sometimes I need help with stories. Sometimes I need help with drawing. And when I said drawing, she said, do you want to see what I drew? Kind of not what we were talking about, but I said, sure. All of a sudden, you guys, this class jumped up off of their feet and started running at me with cards that they had made. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's about to be the holiday. They're going to go home for break. Oh, they've made their parents cards. That's so dope, right? Y'all, the cards were for me. I llama you a lot. This class, who had never met me, thank you for helping me grow. Y'all, all these cards, when I tell you this class, the teacher had to make them get away from me. She was like, get in line. And as she goes out, you can hand her the card, because they rushed me. And I loved every minute of it. This is what I came home with yesterday. You are one in a million. One little girl said, well, wait. Can you read mine now? Can you open it? Can you open it? And she was like this on me. She was so excited to show me some kindness. Yeah, I know the teacher told them to do it, but they were excited about it. Y'all see, I'm still picking up cards. Y'all, it doesn't take much to show people some love. It really doesn't. Somebody said, I llama you. I really like you, volunteer. Y'all, this is all, look. There's more. Y'all, it doesn't cost us anything to show somebody some love. Before I could get out of the door, some little boy ran to his desk. I don't think he even meant to, but he wrote on the back of his homework. They rushed me. Why am I showing you that? It doesn't take much to show some compassion and some kindness to people. You don't know what they go home to. You don't know what kind of pain people carry. You don't know the hurt that they deal with. And if it's hard for you to show compassion, think about what you've gone through. Think about the pain that you've suffered, the losses, right? Jobs, friends, family, illness, finances, homes. I've lived on people's couch and on their floor because we were homeless for a minute. Yeah, think about those things and then remember what that felt like and show somebody some compassion, but do yourself a favor. Show yourself some grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay if things don't go the way you want. It's okay if you don't get everything you think you should get. It's fine. It's okay if you don't do everything you think you should have done by 30. You should have done by 40. You should have done by 50. It doesn't matter. Show yourself some grace. I'm going to give y'all a scripture because I can't close without giving you a scripture. But before I give it to you, let me tell you something. You have value. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are amazing. You are spectacular. You are loving. You are kind. You are all of those great things. You are needed. Yeah, you don't have to be like everybody else. People may fall all over folks and hug them and kiss them and be all in their face. And you feel like, well, nobody treats me like that, treat you like that. And understand that somebody will. Somebody's going to see the spark, or somebody already sees it, that there is nothing but goodness surrounding you. You are light when you come into a room. And listen, if you feel like you aren't light, become light. Work on yourself. Y'all, that number is on the screen because there's people out there that will help you if you feel like you can't go another further. There are trained people. Don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to tell somebody, I really need help. Don't do it. Jackie, be in a rush to show kindness. Y'all, every chance I get, if it's my last $10 in my purse, I'll go over to somebody's table and give it to them and buy their food or something. Show kindness. You just never know. You might be the last act of kindness that person has to hold on to until God can touch their heart and their mind and deliver and heal and set them free and change their hearts and minds like he changed mine. If you feel like you can't go another further, get help. See somebody. See somebody. Don't let your pain shame you out of your healing. See somebody. I love y'all. And here's the scripture I got. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ God forgave you. That's Ephesians 4:32. And the last one, rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. Listen, show compassion for people. You may not understand what they're going through, and maybe they got themselves in that situation, but it doesn't even matter. It makes no difference. It's not the why that matters. Focus on the who. Love them, show them compassion, do something to help somebody make it another moment by moment. I love y'all. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I know today was kind of heavy, but it was necessary. I love y'all. You can keep hollering at me in the chat if you like. We can talk. I told y'all I'll listen. I will listen because I don't want to see anybody feel like they can't go another further. So love you. Share this. Help somebody get through. Help me share my testimony so somebody else knows that God, he can do it. I'm not special in that manner. He did it for me. He can do it for them. He don't love me any more than he loves any other of his children. If he did it for me, he can do it for them. And somebody just needs to know that they're loved. I love you. Jackie, is it this? Maybe that's it. See if I got it right. It's something like that. She know what I'm saying. I love y'all. Holla at your girl. I'll see you. Bye.